What's going on, everyone? Welcome back, and let's get into the Thursday action in the major leagues as we break down the April 10th card. We'll get into this short slate. We got 6 games coming to you guys live, a great primetime matchup as we get into some of the games that we're going to be talking about. I'll run the board, give you my best bets. We'll dive into these pitching matchups, and we'll come out on the other side as we do talk some baseball, as you all wake up this morning and we get headed in the right direction. Okay, so let's get into it. We will recap yesterday's plays as well. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us here at TBM Sports. A little quick rundown from yesterday. We needed those Diamondbacks, man. Another one run kind of falling short from going 4-1 on the card yesterday. 9-0 Diamondbacks against the Baltimore Orioles. Okay, what a push that was. And yeah, that one kind of hurts a little bit because that's one where you thought you were in the clear, and then boom, a little bit of a push there at 9.5. It was a great day though because we did hit plus money with the Phillies on the money line, and also the San Diego money line was a very mispriced spot, albeit they did win a close one. But minus 108, we'll take that all day, twice on Sunday. The only loss we had was with the Cardinals-Pittsburgh game under the 7.5. I knew that one was fishy. I told you guys that one was going to be the loser on the card. And then, of course, the Cleveland Dodgers moneyline parlay. We went back to that and actually got it done, as there was a lot of close games and a lot of replicating trends that we're starting to pick up on. So kind of got going in the right direction, and we're going to keep it going today with 6 games. We'll talk about each and every one of them, and we will use Outlier to break these ones down. Full disclosure, if you guys are system bettors, okay, and I'm not recommending this, but I will tell you this after doing each and every game and running the numbers and crunching stuff in terms of metrics, this is something where I could see all 6 of these games going under their totals. And I think that's almost where you kind of want to maybe attack it from a system perspective. Take 6 unders. Maybe if you don't want to, leave out the Brewers and Rockies. Just a thought. All right, I'm not going to go down the nrfi rabbit hole. We haven't opened up that can of worms yet. I don't like to get into nrfis this early in the season. However, one of my favorite things to bet within the diamond. And there are a lot of great pitching matchups I think are going kind of under the rug here, especially with these colder days, bad wind, and the ball's really not traveling outside anywhere other than Coors Field, that we do have that matchup with the Milwaukee Brewers, and their bats are starting to come alive a little bit as well, okay? So let's talk about it. We will go unders today. These getaway days, fluky stuff happens. I usually stay away from the sides unless there's some kind of late season must win, or if there's something just completely dominant from a pitching perspective, or even if we do get kind of one of those rubber matches where you don't want to get swept and you kind of have to show up more than the other team. So that is some of the angles that I do shoot, but let's get into some of the plays, and the first game being the Angels-Rays. These pitchers, a lot of you guys watching probably have zero idea who Jose Soriano and Zach Littell are, but this is something where you have to kind of understand they have actually been pretty serviceable this year. And if we look at these past performances, you kind of have to understand what is going on. 4-5, 4-3. That's what I mean, guys. There's no edge. There's no variance. If anything, I would back the Angels in this spot, but I just don't trust them against the Rays lineup. I trust the Rays lineup better, but I trust Soriano better on the bump. He's looked pretty impressive, actually, for my opinion. And now they go on the road where they look to win a little getaway day, 110 first pitch. This would be an under for me as well, guys. I think this is probably my least favorite on the card, if we're being honest, outside of the Milwaukee and the Brewers game. But this is where I would trust that Rays lineup a little bit more. And I would lean Rays, but no official play. Zach Littell 0-2. Home team, maybe they get it done on the road, but these games really haven't had much variance, 4-3 and 4-5 respectively. So I think this is pretty much a coin flip in my personal opinion. So stay away from this one because I don't want to lay the minus 130 with the Rays on the money line at a coin flip in this spot. Next game, White Sox and Guardians. Now, this is interesting because we do have a very great pitching matchup within cold weather. Jonathan Cannon going against the good old Gavin Williams that leaves the ball up, okay? I don't know why. With all that talent, somebody along the way just can't tell him to throw that 98-mile-per-hour fastball. just about 2 feet lower, bottom of the zone. Don't get people to chase, and you'll do a lot better. He's going to survive out here in the cold weather. The ball won't be traveling as much, but if you connect on one of those in a mid-July night, you could forget about that one, especially going against some of the AL teams that definitely have some slugging behind their bats. This is kind of where I look at the Guardians, though, hosting the White Sox. They're going for the sweep. I don't see a way that they don't get it. Personally, this is kind of why it's priced accordingly. You're seeing the Guardians here, okay? They've already won 2 straight low-scoring affairs against the White Sox, and now you're getting that basically, minus 245. I'm not going to ever lay 245 with the White Sox. If anything, you kind of want to lean the White Sox here, getting a plus $2 price and then some. But this is kind of where you look into kind of this just being an absolute shit show, in my opinion. I think Gavin Williams is going to mow through the White Sox. I possibly would look into his outs up. Also kind of look into the pitcher strikeouts going over. I just don't really, quite frankly, like the 5.5 prop. You want to go into his game logs so you can see kind of where we're at. But it's going to be cold. It's going to be ugly. As long as he's throwing more strikes than balls, I think he'll be out there for quite some time. He's only had about 75 pitches in both of his outings thus far, and it's been kind of cut short. 3 innings against the Angels and 5 innings against KC, where, quite frankly, it's lower scoring, and he's going to have one of those outings, but he's not getting it done from a strikeout perspective. So if you think he mows through the White Sox, yes, but in his first 2 starts, he's at 2 and 5 respectively. Normally, this would be one that we would attack. I just don't like his command right now of his fastball, so I'm going to stay away from the prop market here. If anything, guys, this is a dead under, in my opinion. I won't lay the $2 there for the Guardians either, so this will be a no play, but we will be taking it from a total perspective, just no play on the side. So an official bet will be the under 7.5 Cleveland White Sox. We're going to go under 7.5 runs in the spot at a minus 118 price. Minnesota, Kansas City, another one where we would love to get involved with the under. You talk about kind of where we're at. The only reason I would stay away from this one is the fact that we do get a Bailey Obear going for the Minnesota Twins, okay? And that's kind of where you look into it. Michael Wacha versus Obear. It's going to lead me to kind of the storyline where we talk about kind of what we're at. Obear's 12-plus ERA. He's going to have a reversion to the mean. He's going to have a dominant outing, but I personally think this is something where I would lean under as well. You got 4 runs and 3 runs and 6 runs respectively in 3 of the first games that they've played together. This is where you look at the pitching matchup, you look at the over, you would go over based on the numbers. But I think this is kind of like I said, I think this potentially is a system play across the board on the unders in these 6 games. So just kind of how I'm looking at it. I probably won't do that, but that's just kind of my mindset after breaking down each and every game, that I just see low-scoring affairs, especially in Kansas City, especially in Cleveland, and then the next 2 games that we're going to talk about, okay? But no play for me officially with Minnesota and Kansas City. Brewers and Rockies. This one is one of those ones where it's like that low-hanging fruit, right? They want you to be taking the Milwaukee Brewers here after the bludgeoning of the Colorado Rockies. Colorado is 2-9 on the season. They absolutely got destroyed 17-2 last evening against the Brew Crew, and Milwaukee comes in minus 115, and you're looking at them dead in the face, and you're saying, why are they priced minus 115? This is the definition of a sucker bet, okay? I'm not saying Milwaukee's going to lose. Milwaukee is debuting one of their rookie prospects. And also, you do get Feltner going for Colorado, who's been a little bit more serviceable than most, but Colorado really struggling to hit the baseball. The only problem is in Coors Field, you cannot discredit any single offense. And especially, you look at this Milwaukee club, 17 and 7 runs respectively going against the Rockies. I don't see a way in hell that either A, this does not go over the total, or Milwaukee doesn't win. But that's kind of why I'm not betting it, because it's just super fishy at these numbers, and that's why we're not going to make the same mistake twice. I bit into that low-hanging fruit yesterday with the Cardinals and the Pittsburgh game early on. We're going to stay away from this one, and who knows? You got to be able to take your shots and pick your poison, and if this game Everything about my numbers says this game should fly over the total. Milwaukee should win, but I just don't trust the way the money's moving. So you kind of have to think somebody knows something. And some of the best bets we will make are the bets that you never make. So we will stay away from the Brewers and Rockies game. And when this game ends up being about 12-8, please send me a message over on Discord and let me know how kind of moronic that was not to take that over or the Brewers here in this cheap number. Okay. No play for me, though, officially. Blue Jays and Red Sox. That is the next game we're going to talk about. We will be going under the total of 9. I'm praying for a bounce back for Walker Buehler. That's kind of where I'm at. I think this one's too much of a value not to go under. We did see 3 games within Toronto. I think that Toronto may end up taking a 4-game sweep against Boston here, as Bassett's been very impressive early on, and Walker Buehler not so much. Okay, the only thing I do worry about is that the Blue Jays will be able to plate 5-6 runs against Walker Buehler. This is not the Walker Buehler like we talked about from the Dodgers. This is a different pitcher, okay? But he is going to go 4 or 5 innings. Bare minimum, that's the floor, is that 4 or 5 inning performance. He's given up 7 hits in both outings and about 4.5 earned runs on average. So it is kind of interesting. Hitters are going, they're hitting 300, averaging about 350 against Walker Buehler. So it's 333 in the month of April in the first start. So they're hitting above 300 in 2 starts. So we kind of just have to hope for the best. Hopefully the cold weather does kind of allow us to get a little bit more efficiency out of Walker and keep that total down under three runs through 5, and he gets out of a start against a Toronto lineup that I think that this is going to be where I'm at. So I do like the under a little bit. I know that this game could go flying over, but we're going to go under the 9 at -122. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm just backing Bassett, and I'm backing the Boston Red Sox to play a little bit more competitive and keep this one lower scoring. And 9 runs is a lot as long as the Blue Jays or any team does not score 6. I mean, this will be pretty much right on the money. So we're going to go under the 9 runs in Boston and Toronto -122. Okay. And then the final game, this will be one that we will have a bet in as well. This will be another under we're going to take, but we are going to do this one a little differently. We're going to go first 5 under the 4 at -108. I'm sorry, -125 actually. -108 is the full game. We're going to go -125 on the first 4. Last night, there was no runs through 5 innings in Truist Park as the Phillies took down the Atlanta Braves. I just don't trust this Atlanta lineup thus far, and we potentially do get 2 of their better pitchers going at it, okay? So it is one of those kind of rubber match games here, but I think that what we get on this side is a very good matchup. I personally think that you look at Jesus Luzardo and Schwellenbach for the Braves. There's a lot of things that are going kind of under the radar. Luzardo, he's a fireballer, man. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits. 2-0 on the season, and this is something where he went against the Dodgers and 8 Ks, 2 hits. He's more than capable of taking down the Atlanta Braves his own self, and I think this one, we go under the total, 7.5 at -108. You can find a juiced up 8 if you want it, full game, but I'm sorry, we're going to go first 5 under 4 at -125. I think that's where we get this one done in that regard, so that'll wrap it up. I will give you guys the recap of my best bets. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this rundown and my best bets every single day. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us at TBM Sports. Let me know what you guys will be betting down below in the comments. Feel free to holler at me, and let's get into the recap, as we will have 3 picks officially on this short card. Toronto under 9. We're going to go Cleveland under 7.5, and Philadelphia, Atlanta under 4 in the first 5 at -125 to wrap up my card. And that's kind of where I'm at. So appreciate you all. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you guys over in Discord and in the next video. Cheers.